The other day I switched this little air hammer over from the big 1-inch hose down to just a regular hose. And what I found was I don't want the connector right here because it can get damaged or it can come disconnected. So I decided to get a leader hose to put on here instead. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. So I moved the mini excavator up here on top of my little gravel pile here just to scratch away at this, see how deep I could get, which I already knew that this was going to be pretty solid. I'm still hoping that this isn't going to be quite as hard to dig as the other one. And let's see, I should have marked that out with some paint because I'm only off 2 feet, but I'll scratch that over again. This one's lined up. Now what I'm getting ready to do is put my batter boards up so I can get everything on center. And I was flying by the seat of my pants on this one. I missed it by just a little bit. Oh well. I know where I got to be now. It's kind of hard to see that from up there where I was at. Anyway, I'll scratch this one out a little more. And then get the jackhammers out, start breaking up some rock. Lots of fun. Got lots of supervisory help today. I pulled a string line off the edge of that semi-trailer up here to my tripod, and it gives me a line to go by. And what I wanted my Piers to be is about 6 inches off. I was thinking 6 to 12 inches off the edge of that semi-trailer. It actually works out really good at 6 inches. So that's what I'm going to go with. So dropped a plumb bob down, measured over 6 inches. Put me another string up. So that's the center line for those piers. Now on this one over here by the semi-trailer, my hole's a little offset. All I'm going to do, it's actually perfect for the pier itself, but I'm going to shave off the side of that hole down there at the bottom for my widened footing, and it'll work out just nifty. Then all I have to do is square over to my other holes and get everything totally squared up, do my cross measurements, make sure everything comes out okay, and then I can dig my fourth pier over there underneath that little tent. One box for one pier built. Put a little board across down the bottom. Get my rebar bent. This one is 4.5 foot long. It puts me down top of pad and still gives me 2 foot above grade. I'll probably start with this one. My fourth one is marked out. It took me a little extra time to get the time to figure this out. A lot of other things getting in my way here. The other one over here on the left will probably be my second one I'll do. That way these two can be curing, and then I can stand the legs up and then get the beam across. This one here, even though it's down into the rock, my center point was off just a little bit. I'll have to trim the edge over here and a little bit over there to get my pier in the middle of my pad like I want it. I just thought my redneck ways would make that work, but it didn't. Won't take long to trim that. What's going to take the longest is digging this. I scratch this down pretty much to hard, so everything from here down has to be jackhammered. Now I'm going to support that 1 foot by 1 foot form coming up here with just a couple of boards screwed to it, laying across the top of this this grade up here, and then basically it'll be free floating at the bottom. With start filling the concrete up, kind of make its own way as long as I don't make this concrete too sloppy. My little skill saw here for an antique runs really good. Got some people, kind of like my oldest grandson, who won't use it just because I have the cord now broke in. And I don't know what the problem is. Doesn't have any bare metal showing. Works just fine. So we kind of got these suspended. It's a few inches off the ground in the bottom. Both of them are up at the same height, which is 2 foot 6 inches above our benchmark, which is a nail right underneath that flag right there. And what I'll do is drive some stakes in, attach those side pieces to some stakes to keep things from moving. I'll hang the rebar up inside so it stays where it generally needs to be. And put a few form boards down in the bottom so that I'm not putting a lot of excess concrete down there. And then we'll be ready to mix up some concrete. These two forms now are totally complete and ready to put the mud in. And I ended up bracing them in place in all 4 directions. Got some little forms down at the bottom just to kind of hold the mud down there. And this particular one on this side, that footing, the base down there is going to be just a little bit bigger than the one on the other side. Just because this one's on solid rock, those form boards are quite a bit wider than they need to be. So I'm just holding mud right at the very bottom, so that's all those are in there for. Otherwise we're just filling up the hole with concrete that we don't need to be doing. Doesn't need it, not required. Got them straight, used my laser level, got them at the same height. Now I can either start pouring concrete, or I can go ahead and form up that third one over there. It's got just a little bit of trim work to do on it, and then it'll be ready to form. And that one, of course, will be on solid rock, so it's not going to have much of a footing underneath there. Basically, these ones that are on solid rock don't need a wider footing at all. But it's a good idea from my perspective, is once these are backfilled, it is almost impossible for any uplift. We get a lot of wind around here, not excessive, but just better to overbuild it just a little bit and be safe than sorry. Then I can start jackhammering this one in. It's on the rock right now, and I'm going to go down and hopefully as deep as that one is over there, which is just, I think, just a little over 2 feet. So this will be the next jackhammering one. I'm hoping to have at least those two over there poured and curing before I have to start on this one. And it's a possibility I'll have that one poured and curing before I start jackhammering here.